Do you want to get rich being an artist? Or even just make a living?
Yes, but that isn't very realistic, is it?
Not the way the system is currently set up, no. Right now, if you met a student and they said they wanted to be an artist, a writer, an animator, a filmmaker, a comic book creator, what would any reasonable person tell that aspiring student?
You better have a backup plan.
Correct. And what if you were talking with a coworker that had an idea for a comic book or film and they wanted to pursue it? What advice would you give them?
Don't quit your day job.
Right again. Why do we say these discouraging things to hopeful artists or creators?
Because it is very hard to earn money as an artist.
Exactly. Please, tell me the ways artists make money.
They get a job as an artist or designer from a company, or they sell their art independently, both extremely difficult.
So let's break this down. Why is it hard to get a job from a company as an artist?
Honestly, there aren't many jobs for artists, and so many people want to do it, that it is very competitive and only the best of the best are going to get those jobs. And that's not accounting for the people who are going to get those jobs because of family or other connections. Not to mention that there are dozens and dozens of artificial intelligence apps that let anyone with no artistic ability at all create art by simply typing in a prompt on their iPhone. So the need for actual human artists is going to grow less and less every day.
So a steady art gig is hard to secure and is only going to get harder with AI coming on the scene. But then why is it also so difficult to make a living selling your art or creative work on your own independently?
Again, you are competing with millions of other artists for people's attention and money, and it is hard to get noticed or be appreciated. Not to mention, you are also competing with all the billion-dollar corporations that are churning out content with million-dollar marketing budgets.
It is kinda like a popularity contest, isn't it? Or who can drum up the most hype. Someone's art could be terrible, but because they are famous or able to capitalize on hype or marketing, they are going to get noticed before you and make a sale.
And if you don't get that crucial break or head start in life as an artist, then you have to factor in the reality that now you have to work full-time to support yourself at a regular job. And now you have less time to create and pursue those artistic efforts. And if you get married and start a family, you have even less time.
So what happens to your dream of being an artist or creator?
You slowly give up on it as the grind of reality wears you down.
And isn't that a shame?
It is. But what are you going to do? It is just the way life is.
How many talented artists never got a chance to show the world what they could do because they wasted their lives away at a 9-to-5 job they hated, simply because they had to pay their bills?
I'd say there are millions of people like that.
What if I told you there was another way to support yourself as an artist or creator, and you didn't have to apply for a job or even sell a single piece of art? Would you believe me?
No.
Why not?
It is too good to be true.
Is it? Maybe 10 or 30 years ago, yes, correct, it was too good to be true. But now, because of advances in technology, finance, and investing, I believe there is a way for artists to combine their creative power in a decentralized artist community and support each other with an asset token.
Decentralized artist community asset token. Okay, now this is starting to sound like a scam or a pyramid scheme.
I can understand you being skeptical, but let me make my case, and then you decide.
Okay, fine. Explain this decentralized artist community asset token and how it is going to let me be a full-time artist.
Let's just call it Dacat for short.
Dacat. And that's the mascot for it? That sly-looking cat there.
Yes, that yellow-eyed cat represents the Dacat brand, just like Mickey Mouse and Mario represent Disney and Nintendo. So the first question I have for you is, do you know what decentralized means?
I think so, but explain it.
When an organization or a community is decentralized, that means there is no concentration of people in power-making decisions. For instance, Marvel is a centralized organization, and if you wanted a job creating a comic book for Marvel, they would have a very rigid structure guarded by gatekeepers that would make the decision on whether or not you would get to make that comic book for Marvel.
Good luck getting through those gatekeepers. A nasty lot.
But if you are one of the lucky few that do get through, it can be very rewarding financially.
Yes, but like we said, most people will simply be rejected. So how is Dacat different?
The great thing about Dacat is that because it is a decentralized community, if you wanted to create a comic book for Dacat, you could. In fact, you could get started today, right now, as a Dacat artist, and there would be no one to tell you no, except for yourself.
So what's the catch?
The catch is, you would be doing it on your own, and no one would pay you for your work.
If I'm not getting paid, why would I do it? Sorry, but that makes no sense. How am I going to get rich or support myself if I am not getting paid? You're losing me here.
Do you have any experience in cryptocurrency?
I've heard of Bitcoin. I know there are people that made millions because they bought Bitcoin years ago.
That's right. A lot of people made millions because they invested in crypto early, when it seemed like a crazy idea. Make-believe or pretend money, they called it. In 2013, you could have bought one Bitcoin for $100. Today, in 2024, one Bitcoin is worth around $60,000. And in the future, people say one Bitcoin could be worth as much as $1 million.
Right. But I've also heard plenty of stories of people losing money in crypto and being scammed. I'm just not sure it is for me.
Listen, investing in crypto is a high-risk investment, and you should never invest anything that you can't afford to lose, period.
So, why would I invest in crypto if it's so risky?
Think of those people that made millions with early Bitcoin investments. If you are fortunate enough to make a substantial investment in a cryptocurrency, when it is at a low market cap and it goes on a run, you can make a profit almost unrivaled in the investing world.
Yes, but how do you know what cryptos are going to go up in value and which ones are scams?
It isn't easy, but there are things to look for. How long has the crypto project been around? How does the community behave? Is it a professional or toxic environment? Do the top holders of the project buy and hold, or do they trade on the community?
I'm not sure I understand all this.
I'll make it simple. Is the project trying to actually build something real, or is it all based on hype?
So what is Dacat building?
Dacat is building a community of artists that is using their artistic ability to raise the awareness of the Dacat brand. The more people that hear and know about Dacat, the more they are likely to invest in it. Or if people like the art you are producing, you can tell them that if they buy and hold an investment in Dacat, that investment is going to indirectly help you and keep you producing that art they like so much, be it a comic or animation video or music.
How does their investment benefit me? Explain.
For this to work, you yourself as the artist have to have an investment in Dacat.
So I have to buy the Dacat crypto.
Correct. You make a financial investment in Dacat, and then you invest your artistic talent in promoting Dacat. The more artists we can get to become part of the Dacat community, the more we can build the Dacat brand up, and hopefully your investment in Dacat grows. And in turn, the people supporting you by investing in Dacat will see their investment go up as well.
If I wanted people to support my creative efforts, why wouldn't I just use traditional crowdfunding or Patreon to ask for donations?
You could, but here is what is so special about creating this Dacat community. Everyone gets to share in the success. Let's say you launch a Kickstarter campaign and someone donates $100. In the end, for their $100 donation to you, they get whatever reward you promised to give them, but that's it. If your project turns out to be $1 million idea and goes viral, the person that gave you $100 doesn't get to profit from your success.
How is Dacat different?
Let's say someone invests $100 in Dacat to support you. They get to keep their investment. Now, it might go down in value, but let's say several Dacat projects take off and word of Dacat spreads, attracting new investors, and Dacat goes up 10 times in value. Then their $100 investment is now worth $1,000. If it goes up by 100 times in value, then their $100 investment is now worth $10,000.
So in a way, it is like owning stock in my artistic endeavors.
Correct, but it isn't just owning stock in only your artistic efforts. It is owning stock in all the Dacat artists that join the community and start building the Dacat brand up. We all share in the success.
How long will all this take?
Truthfully, no one can know. It could happen very rapidly or never happen at all. But the only thing you can control is your Dacat investment and your efforts to contribute artistically to Dacat.
So walk me through this. I'm a comic book artist, but unfortunately, I can't get work from one of the big publishers. I try crowdfunding my comics, but it is hard meeting my funding goals because I don't have a big social media following. How do I become a Dacat artist, and how am I going to get rich or support myself?
First, you have to understand the worst-case scenario and best-case scenario and be willing to accept those.
What's the worst-case scenario?
That you would make an investment in Dacat, and despite your best efforts to create a really cool Dacat comic, the price of Dacat goes down, and your investment loses value, and you feel like your efforts are going to waste.
As long as I haven't invested more than I can lose, I can live with that. Nothing is guaranteed in life, and I've had multiple projects that never worked out anyway. So what's the best-case scenario?
Let's say you invest $1,000 in Dacat right now, when the price of one Dacat is a decimal point, and then 8 zeros and then a 25. That is Dacat at about $1 million market cap.
$1,000 is a lot of money, especially for a risky crypto investment.
Yes, but you'll understand why I picked that amount for this example in a minute. Could you afford a $1,000 investment?
Yes, but it is significant for a working person like myself.
I appreciate that. But since we are talking about the best case scenario, let's go with $1,000 to keep the numbers simple.
Okay, fine, I've made my $1,000 investment in Dacat. What happens next?
Now the fun part, you get to create a Dacat-related comic book and share it with as many people as you can.
What does a Dacat-related comic book mean?
Honestly, it can mean whatever you want. But when people see your work, you want them to see the Dacat branding in some way. So it can be a comic about cats, or about a character named Dacat, or an organization called Dacat.
Can I create a comic book that has nothing to do with Dacat?
I suppose you could, but if there is no connection to Dacat, I'm not sure how that is going to build the Dacat brand and help raise the value of your Dacat investment. In the end, I guess you could just tell people if they like your non-Dacat comic, then they can support it by buying Dacat. But honestly, by building on the Dacat brand, I feel like that will benefit your investment in Dacat the best.
Okay, so I create a Dacat comic about superhero cats who have cool abilities to fight crime. Then what?
At that point, you have two options. You can sell your comic, or you can post it online for free.
If I sell my comic book, who gets to keep the money from it?
You do. You're the author of your work, and you own it. But remember, the key to being a Dacat artist is making your investment in Dacat go up, not just selling comic books in the traditional way. Honestly, you want to have the most people to see and read your comic as possible so they can learn about Dacat and potentially become Dacat investors themselves if they want to support you and the other Dacat creators and investors. And if you are not charging anything to read your comic, say in a digital format, then more people can read it and become fans.
Again, this gets back to my point. How do I make money and support myself if I and others are just creating free content?
So remember your $1,000 investment in Dacat at $1 million market cap?
Yes, there were 8 zeros after the decimal point, then a 25.
So let's say we attracted enough amazing Dacat artists that start creating Dacat content. Comics, animation, music, rappers, anything that grabs viewers on social media, and we build up the Dacat brand, and as people see Dacat going up in value, they start jumping in and investing in Dacat, because not only do they want to support these cool creators, but they want to make money as well.
Makes sense. People are always looking to jump in on investments going up in value.
And so Dacat grows from $1 million market cap to $1 billion market cap. It goes from having 8 zeros after the decimal point to only having 5 zeros after the decimal point.
$1 billion market cap. Is that realistic?
Yes, it isn't easy for sure, but several projects like Dacat have reached $1 billion market cap and higher.
So what would that mean for my $1,000 investment if Dacat went from $1 million market cap to $1 billion market cap?
Your investment would go up 1,000 times in value, and $1,000 times 1,000 is $1 million.
My $1,000 would be worth $1 million?
Right. If you had $1 million in the bank, could you live off of that and just create your comic book all day supporting Dacat?
Sure, I suppose that is possible. But that is a best-case scenario.
Well, yes, although the price of Dacat wouldn't be limited to $1 billion if we build this Dacat brand into something truly special. So there were movies, TV animation, video games, action figures, and other related licensable merchandise. Who knows how high the market cap of Dacat could go? Dogecoin at its peak went to an $88 billion market cap in May 2021. Shiba Inu went to its highest market cap of $41 billion in October of 2021.
What would my $1,000 investment be worth then?
If Dacat reached $88 billion, your $1,000 investment would be worth $88 million. And if it reached $41 billion, then your $1,000 investment would be worth $41 million. Could you live off of that?
I could make it work, somehow. So, worst case scenario, my investment goes down in value, and I waste my time on a Dacat comic that does nothing. Best case scenario, I become a millionaire and never have to work a 9-to-5 job again.
Yes, that is the plan. Imagine a community of 100 Dacat artists that are able to invest in Dacat early. when we are around 1 million to 5 million in market cap. Then that community goes to work for their decentralized Dacat studio, creating whatever they want to support and grow the Dacat brand. And we just keep growing, attracting more artists and investors who want to support those creators and make money doing it. And instead of fans giving all their hard-earned money to a corporation like Disney, Marvel, Warner Brothers, or DC, they invest that money in themselves. And it is the artist and the fans themselves that see the riches from that success. Not Kathleen Kennedy that makes $25 million a year, driving the Star Wars brand into the ground.
It seems crazy, but yeah, I see it. I mean, will it ultimately work? I don't know, but I guess it is worth a shot. Honestly, what else am I doing with my talent? It is just going to waste right now.
Exactly. Think of your creative ability as a machine, and someone comes along and hires you to be an artist for 30 minutes. Great. For those 30 minutes, your artistic ability earns you money. But then for the next 23.5 hours, your machine just sits there doing nothing. Now imagine that machine running 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, supporting Dacat and your investment in Dacat. And not just your machine, but hundreds of other machines, all creating art that supports the Dacat brand, building the value of all of your Dacat investments.
Why aren't people doing this now with other crypto projects?
Because whenever technology changes our lives, it takes a minute before someone figures out the best way to use these breakthroughs to cause a revolution. Apple computers took advantage of breakthroughs to make computers easier for average people to use. Google took advantage of breakthroughs to make searching the internet easier for the average person. Facebook took advantage of breakthroughs to make social media networks easier for the average person to use to let others know what they were doing. Amazon and eBay took advantage of breakthroughs to make buying things on the internet easier.
And now Dacat wants to take advantage of breakthroughs to build a decentralized community of artists and fans that creates content owned completely by the creators and fans, that no longer needs the gatekeepers of Hollywood and the mainstream media to make billions.
That's correct. That's the goal. So having heard all this, you can sit there letting your amazing artistic ability go to waste doing nothing, or you can join a revolutionary network of Dacat creators and change the world. In the hero's journey, this is known as the call to adventure. It is when the hero must either choose to stay in their normal life, refusing to join this crazy idea that they are going to fight the empire, or they decide to go on the adventure of a lifetime and help save the world. It's your choice.
I'm intrigued. I love this idea, but I'm still hesitant.
I tell you what, just join the Dacat Telegram group and start interacting with the Dacat community that's already there. Tell them you are an artist and what you like to create, be it comic books, videos, music. Ask any questions you want and get a feel for the people involved in the community in the Telegram group. Then ask yourself if you feel comfortable moving forward as a Dacat artist. It doesn't cost you a thing to join the Telegram group and find out if it is a fit for you or not. If it isn't for you, walk away and never look back. However, if you see the potential for redefining what it means to be an artist, if you are tired of having your amazing artistic abilities go to waste sitting idle day after day, week after week, year after year, then become a Dacat artist and try to change the world and create opportunities, not just for yourself, but for every other artist out there that was denied and rejected by the gatekeepers of traditional media. Artists that were told they weren't good enough. Show them they were wrong. Show them that there is no stopping you until you have helped make the Dacat brand as famous as Disney, Star Wars, or Marvel. Will it be easy? No, of course not. But with every artist that joins together in this endeavor, then Dacat gets one step closer to becoming a powerful brand. And those that get into the community the earliest, when there is the most risk, they will be the ones in the best position for success. But it all starts with you believing in your value as an artist. It comes down to this very simple question. Would you hire yourself as an artist? Well, would you? Because right this very second, you could become a Dacat artist. And the only one that can say no to you is you.